Welcome back to the Shoegazing 93 channel. Drop 19s have released the third single from their upcoming album, Hard Light, which is coming out on the 3rd of November on my birthday. And so, my backstory with Drop 19s is that I was never really a massive fan, really, of that Delaware album. I liked there were about three tracks that I really liked, and that is Delaware, the title track, track one, the opener, and Winona with that really great like vocal melody that just sort of glides through the whole song and the changing dynamics. And obviously Kick the Tragedy is the amazing instrumental with all those layers coming in and that typical shoegaze sound. Apart from that, Happen was okay, I suppose. That song called Happen, which is Paula Kelly singing. I really dig her voice, and this track I'm about to talk about now. This is the first song that I've heard from Hard Light with her leading the vocals. So yeah, I was never really a great fan, really, because apart from those like three tracks on Delaware, like it was hardly shoegaze at all. And if it was, like, what's that song, Remember Berry or something like that? There's a couple of tracks on there, plus Fish Stream, and I just thought the songwriting was so rubbish that because it just didn't. It was like how not to do shoegaze, and it was just like really great guitar tone, but then the song didn't go anywhere. Or there's that like Ease It Halen song which I didn't like, where he was just naming Van Halen albums and there was no like melody to it or anything like that. Um, so yeah, they're not one of my favorites, but I'm really hoping that Hard Light is going to prove me wrong about this band. And like Scapa Flow was a really great introduction. The first single that came out called Scapa Flow. I thought that was like a return to that. The songs I liked on Delaware, like a return to like Winona, that kind of thing. And then you have the second track, A Hitch, which was a bit more kind of poppy and had this kind of like happy vibe to it, which was like quite strange, really. I'm not saying that. I don't want everything to be depressing or angry or anything, but it's just, yeah, a strange kind of post punky, I would say, actually, that one, like early post punk. So today, yeah, The Price Was High was released. This is the third single, and I quite like it. It's like it starts with this big noise explosion. Reminds me of Winona, actually. The dynamic changes, the loud to quiet alternate dynamics. And we got Paula Kelly singing. Really great to hear her voice again. It's drenched in reverb. I think her voice is really cute and beautiful. So even without reverb, I think it would have been really good to hear her voice really like dry, because she's got a really cute, like, ultra feminine kind of voice, and I really like that. It reminds me of like Alison's Halo. I think is it Catherine from Alison's Halo? Her voice is very cute and feminine, and Swallow as well. Louise Treehey or Treehigh, Louise Treehigh from Swallow, the 4AD band. I really like those feminine vocal styles, and Paula Kelly definitely delivers that on this single. But it's very much like Winona, because it's like you got that noise burst, and then it goes into this kind of lead playing, like it's kind of like arpeggio kind of stuff. And then there's acoustic guitar that comes in as well, so that's a bit of the Kick the Tragedy kind of vibe there, because there's a prominent acoustic guitar being strummed all the way through Kick the Tragedy. So yeah, it's definitely a throwback to the good tracks on Delaware. I'm glad that they've, you know, chosen to go in the style of the good tracks, because if it was more of the like the Plus Fish Dream songs, then I wouldn't like it, you know. I actually put Delaware as my like my least favorite shoegaze album, but you know, not saying that there's no good moments on it, because there is. I mean, that's why I'm interested in the latest single right now. I wouldn't be talking about them if I wasn't already slightly into them. But the Mayfield demos, that was what really sold me on, you know, them being like a prime shoegaze band in the early 90s. It was definitely hearing that Mayfield demo. I mean, the songs on there are like much more Cocteau Twins ethereal, much more of the shimmer reverbs going on, like Yamaha FX500s, probably those rack effects. A lot more rack effects in those early demos on Mayfield. And yeah, I really want them to get back to the proper Mayfield sound, to be honest. I think that's what lots of people are striving for. And I think this album would be really great altogether. I mean, the singles are a bit questionable. I mean, they sound a bit like, you know, just album tracks or like B-sides. I was hoping for, you know, some stronger kind of singles. But I think, yeah, Price Was High. It's really good. It's great to hear Paula Kelly, and there's so much shimmer reverb like during the verses and her voice, which I really like. Some like shimmer trails, you know, like after the heavy wash of sound, heavy distortion. It's it you know it tails out with these reverb trails, which is really nice. And again, I think they're very good at the vocal melody thing. Like her voice is like bouncing around, like da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. But it's like, you know, it's not like A-B rhyming scheme. That's what I quite like about their vocal melodies so far in these three songs. It's like not an obvious vocal pattern. You know, it's not like A-B, like da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da. You know, it's like the vocal, it's like voice-led kind of music. If you think about theory, you know, it's the vocals are coming up with a pattern and the guitars are following it, and yeah, it's just more creative than like an A-B kind of style. You know, it's they make the song kind of have momentum. I think the vocal patterns give it some kind of momentum, and like the verse goes into the pre-chorus in like a really cool way. But yeah, it's amazing that, you know, you can hear the shoegaze, you know, take off in those noisy sections. And I mean, a lot of it sounds like the Pixies, to be honest. It's got a very prominent bass. That's the first thing you would notice about the song on The Price Was High. The bass line is really solid. I think Scapa Flow had a really solid bass line where it was like doing this boom, 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 like really nice slides up the neck. And this has got a very Pixies kind of bass line, you know, where it's very loud. It's probably the loudest thing in the mix, actually, especially when the verses hit and it's just Paula singing with the bass. So that's what I was meaning. That's what I meant by the big dynamic range, very much like the Pixies, the quiet to loud and back again format. But yeah, I just think, you know, guitar sounds are amazing when they do get going. That it's very well produced and they sound massive. And I think as a whole, I think this album will be really good. But I think I'm gonna prefer the actual album tracks as opposed to the singles probably more. I think the hidden gems will be they would be the other album tracks. I think the singles are kind of you know, they're trying to be maybe too commercial with them, and then they're gonna leave the more like shoegazy stuff hopefully in the non-singles. So yeah, and apparently they're not touring this year now. It's got postponed until next year due to some personal reasons. So yeah, hopefully they come to the UK and I'll be there. And yeah, take care, guys. That's all I've got to say. Check out Drop 19s. The price was high.